Hello everyone, welcome back to the Dungeon Master's Cauldron. Today we're doing a little bit different video. This is called the Comic Corner, where we're going to be discussing different comic book characters. Today, we're talking about none other than Absolute Batman. This is a character I've heard about for a little bit now, but I didn't start reading it until recently. All I can say is, if we label regular Batman a menace, we need to invent a new word for this man here. So, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to kind of break down the character, what he uses to fight, his gear, what he does to people. It's horrific, but not so much the story. If you want the story, then find a way to go read the comic yourself. That's why I've cut out a lot of the words in the images that I'm using, also for copyright reasons. But let's start with this character. So, first of all, you see this dude training in a gym. He's going at it on this bag, right? He's going at it, he's hitting it, and you're thinking, oh, okay, this is Bruce. Cool. Okay, looks like Bruce. In fact, no. Because this motherfucker right here, this is Bruce. Why is he built like that? Sir, who are your ops? Okay, I just gotta know, why is he built like he was looking for Baki Hanma, got lost, and wound up in Gotham? Why is he built like he's trying to 1v1 Bane without a power suit? Why is he built like he don't need plot armor? And here's the crazy thing. In the books and everything and everywhere I've looked online, it says he's supposed to be 6'7", 250 pounds. Nah, he bigger than that. I'm gonna be real. IRL, I'm close to 300. And he is taller and wider than me. I'm not comparing our physiques. I know I'm fat, but my point is, I'm almost 300 pounds, and I'm fat. Fat weighs a lot more than muscle weighs a lot more than fat. So, if I'm close to 300, this motherfucker's definitely 325, 350. That's all I'm saying. And oh my god, look at him in the suit. Oh, hell no. Dude, I swear, if I was a criminal and I even seen a glimpse of that walking towards me, I'm cutting all ties to all criminal activity I've ever done, and I'm getting a job at McDonald's the next day. I don't care. You just, Jesus Christ. This man is terrifying, but y'all don't even know the half of it yet. Okay, so I will tell you guys a little bit about the story. In this universe, Bruce is not rich, and his mom is still alive. He's like a civil, city engineer. So he has money, but he's not traditional Bruce Wayne wealthy. So let's get to his first fight. Bro, the very first thing he does is hooks this poor man around the neck and then throws him into a second-story window while slamming this poor fool into the ground and then yeets this other dude into a light pole. That's the first thing he ever does in this series. That's the energy he's bringing out the gate. From panel 1, the series shows you this man is an absolute demon. And as far as how the fuck he's doing this with the cape, we'll get to that later. But yeah. So, after he does this, tosses these poor fools all over the place, he basically 1v20s them, and then here comes the boss. Great big dude with this cleaver. And you're thinking, okay, this dude's at least as big as him. Maybe it'll be an even match. Y'all, I was not ready for what happens next. You know the bat symbol, which, granted, I really don't like the bat symbol for this Batman. I just, it's too square. It doesn't look like a bat anymore. And if it doesn't look like a bat, what's the point? But it got some points back. Because this man sees this dude with a cleaver and says, "That's a good idea. Here's mine." Pulls out a handle, attaches it to the symbol. The bat symbol's a fucking axe. And if you're thinking, oh, it's Batman, he would never... He does. He chops this man's arm off and then proceeds to tell him, you know, I think there's a hospital a few blocks from here. It's either south or east. I can't seem to remember right now. But why are you toying with your food? Like, what happened to you? And yeah, it is the traditional Batman story of one of his parents was killed, and so now he's Batman. But that doesn't explain this level of aggression at all. Like, bro, regular universe Batman lost both parents. You only lost one, and you're bringing like 4 times the attitude. But that's just his first debut fight. So anyway, now let's get to his tools he uses. I wouldn't really say gadgets because some of it's advanced, but most of it's not that advanced. But I've dubbed them the tools of destruction. So, first of all, he has, you know, the ears on his helmet? They're knives that he can detach and shank people with. And as we already discussed, the bat symbol turns into an axe. And now, for the whole him like hooking people, that is a thing called the bat thumb. And it's this retractable, extendable claw thing he developed. And it's strong enough that he can hook people like that and just toss them through the sky, apparently. Oh, and he stabs people with it, too. On multiple occasions. And as far as gear goes, the cape is crazy. So the bat thumb thing is integrated into the cape as well. But the cape is made of I believe they said it's like an electromagnetic magnetic alloy that he can control, and it forms into different shapes. Like he can form it into a shield to block projectiles. He can even like turn it into wings and fly with it. This motherfucker jumps out of a window on a motorcycle and just grows wings. Bro, what the hell? And it gets worse. Because he has all kinds of other tools at his disposal. But we're gonna move on to the next section. Oh, and don't even get me started on the Batmobile. The Batmobile is this fucking thing. Bro, it's a quarry dump truck. And this motherfucker had the nerve to go, I'm gonna put some armor on it. It didn't need armor. It's made of steel that's like 2 inches thick. Why did you feel the need to put armor on it? And y'all, I kid you not. I can't lie about this. It has a sport mode. He has a button he pushes and the whole thing flattens down and gets afterburners. How? And even Alfred in the story tells us this thing weighs 600 tons. How do you put a rocket booster on something that weighs 600 tons? This dude put a rocket booster on a vehicle that's bigger than 90% of people's houses. Why? Was this dude already dipped in the Lazarus pit or something? Jesus Christ. So now we're moving on to a section I call the Acts of Pure Menace. So, in book 1, we have the poor souls that he threw across the street, yeeted one into a damn window, yeeted another into a telephone pole. That's crazy work if you think about it, because a grown-ass man, regardless of whether they're heavy or not, like, that's not... To even be able to pick someone up is crazy, but to throw them 2 stories into the air through an apartment window, like, god damn. And then we have the dude who he mutilated. Just, dude has one less arm now, forever, I guess. And that guy comes back later, y'all, and y'all ain't ready for what happens to him next, but we'll get there. So after all that, that's most of the insanity for the first book. In the second book, though, yeah, I'm gonna be honest, something happened in the second book that I had like a mental breakdown for like 10 minutes, like arguing with myself that I didn't just read it. But we'll get there. So, this gang that he's been fighting this whole time, these dudes with like the black skulls, these guys are called the Party Animals, and they're led by Black Mask, who, by the way, in this universe looks freaky as hell. But so they're bad. Don't get me wrong. All the shit that he does to them is insane and awful, but they're horrible people. They've done heinous stuff that I can't even mention here on YouTube, probably. But so, what happens is he tracks them. They're attacking an aquarium. He goes in and starts, doing his thing, roughing each other up and everything. And the tanks get broke and there's water all over the floor. And now, me, as a longtime Batman fan, I'm thinking, he's going to electrify the water to neutralize them all. Like, just zap them real quick and then they'll all pass out or whatever. I wish that's what happened. He goes up to the ceiling and hanging upside down, he pulls out this little pellet. My next thought is, oh, okay, he's gonna smoke screen them and it's gonna be like not fun to breathe and they're gonna have to run outside. Like kind of gas them a little. No, of course not. He throws his pellet into the water and it turns the water into acid. One dude ran out and was like, my toes are missing. What is wrong? What is wrong with this man? That's not even menace activity. This is on another level. What the hell? But we continue on. At one point, they find where he's at, and they attack his place. Which instead of having a bat cave, he's like he's fitted out these like top of these skyscrapers the companies own that they don't use. It's just like for money laundering or whatever. But he's using them because the companies ain't using them. And the Party Animals attack his place and everything. But they he goes to this place to try and get some intel, and Black Mask pops up and is like, I'll make you a deal, and if you survive this encounter, we can make that deal. And they snuck up on him, and this dude's got an RPG. And you're thinking to yourself, well, Batman's dealt with RPGs before. This ain't the first time he's had a missile shot at him, right? And knowing Batman, what do y'all think happens next? Does he, A, use his grapple to get out the way? B, flip the desk over to try and block the blast, at least some, or deflect it a little? No, this dude went with option C, and option C is one of the craziest things I ever seen in my goddamn life. This man tanked the RPG to the chest. Dude shot him with it, and then you get this. He's just looking at him like this. Bro, what are you on? What is that? What the? Bro, when I tell you that my soul would leave my body at that point, this man is not human. He can't be human. And I don't give a fuck what kind of special armor y'all trying to say he has, what his suit's made of. Nah. An RPG is designed to punch through the armor of actual fucking tanks. It's not designed to destroy them completely, but if you can punch a hole in the armor, people with guns can then try to aim for that hole. That's what an RPG is meant for. He tanked it! He tanked something meant for punching through tanks. This means canonically in this universe, Batman is canonically tougher than a fucking actual tank. That is fucking insane! What is wrong with this man? And I'm sorry, if I was the leader of this criminal organization and you sent me this footage, I'm selling all my holdings and I am moving to a different country. Because there ain't no way you're going to have me fighting this. And then this menace pulls off the goddamn Alucard pose from Helsing. Look at him! I won't lie, I want like a poster of this in my room. I just put it right here. But goddamn, that's menacing as hell. But yeah, so I just want to end this video off and say there's got to be more parts to this because I have more of the series to read. But I just want to say this man isn't a menace. Absolute Batman is the thing menaces look under their bed for at night. And just pray he's not there. Because if he is, you're done. There ain't shit you're gonna do. But anyway, that's all for this video. I'm out. This series is fucking crazy. Look forward to more. Peace.